Hello and welcome to all of you astrology friends. This is the horoscope of the new moon in Aries, an introduction of what this is all about for in general and the interpretation of this new moon. And then we'll have a look at every single sign, where in what kind of area of life this new moon is falling and what it means. And in an Aries way. I'm going to do this in an Aries way with a red coach, as my interieur. Red is the sign, of course, of Aries. I should have worn my red jumper. But anyway, I have, I'm a redhead, so that suits the new moon in Aries as well. Anyway, I'm joking. So Aries is all about fast. It's about enthusiasm. It's about let's get started. It's about pioneering. It's like impatient, you could say. And that is what this new moon is all about. But before I even start with explaining the new moon, I want to say something, because this is going to happen around and about the 21st of March of 2023. And this is all at 0 degrees. 0 degrees of Aries. So the sun and the moon together at 0 degrees of Aries. But before that, what was happening before that? That is significant. And that's why I'm making this video a little bit earlier than usual before a new moon. I upload this to make you understand in what kind of vibe we are still in now. So before this new moon, which is all about new starts, every new moon, but especially in Aries and especially in at 0 degrees. So it's a 3 double whammy, you could say, of fresh new starts. We are in an atmosphere, you could say, of insecurity, of not knowing what to do, and I've been explaining that in other videos with the Mars square Neptune. So we're very much in this energy. I'm recording this on the 6, 7, 8, on the 9th, on the 10th of March, and we're in the midst of that. Mars square Neptune, and Mars is in Gemini, so it wants to go to the left, it wants to go to the right, it wants both. It has 2 faces, it doesn't know what to do because of the square with Neptune. So it's very mutable, it's very insecure, it's very, on a good level, it wants to explore, it's exploring, and it wants to be of service. Remember this Mars square Neptune, if you want to be of service, if you have your goal there and you do it out of love and not out of fear, because when Mars square Neptune and you're acting out of fear, it's like really going, you could say, not the right way, doing stuff that you shouldn't do and being all sneaky. That is the negative side of this Mars square Neptune. So keep on going with this Mars square Neptune, keep on navigating, even though you don't know where you're heading, basically. You don't know where you're heading, you're just going, and you do your best in the moment and you go with the flow. That is what is advisable when someone has a transit with Mars square Neptune, for instance. But, and this is the good news, this is about to end. Mars is almost reaching its point where it's out of the shadow. Around the 25th of March, it's going to be out of the shadow. It's going to be new territory that it's going to explore, and it's going to be of this Neptune of insecurity. Now, Neptune, of course, in a square to Mars, yes, it's insecurity, and but it's about slowing down and seeing all the kinds of opportunities. That is the positive of Neptune. It's like a lot is in the air, you could say. But now with Aries, it is a good time. Of course, the planets are not doing anything to us. I say that millions of times in my YouTube videos, in my readings. They are just energies. And we have a choice of going with the energy or going against it. And what I'm strongly advising around the 21st and after the 21st is definitely of starting something new. Starting something enthusiastic, bold, new that you haven't done before, that you're scared of enormously, but that you're going to do it anyways. That is what courageous is coming from. I'm calling this a very courageous new moon. Make the best out of it. Use it for an action, again, that you're a bit fearful of because it's new territory, because you haven't done it before, but it excites you. You're enthusiastic about it. you're doing it because you want to build something with love for the future, then I would say go for it. And we're all going to feel that energy very strongly. Definitely, when this Mars is off Neptune, as I just said. So, but don't forget that starting something new demands courage. And don't forget either that, and I hear that a lot, that Aries is all about strength and it's all about, the sun is exalted in Aries and blah, 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 blah. Yes, but Aries is also a sign. Why is it so impulsive? Why is it impulsive and impatient? Exactly, because it's scared. It's scared. And, this is how a sun or a moon in Aries person acts. If you've got your sun in Aries or your moon in Aries or a Venus in Aries, some Aries energy. And, for instance, you have to do a talk in your school. You have to do a presentation. And you've done the preparation and all of that. That's not the point. But you're scared of doing that. Now, people with Aries energy, they will say, yes, me first, please. Me first. I'm laughing because I'm talking out of experience with my moon and Aries myself. And why are they doing that? Not because they're strong and they're powerful and whatnot. No, it's because they're scared. They're scared. They want to get things done, get it over with, and so that I can relax again. So that is Aries. But use that energy. Use that energy to make, it's like the new year, you could say, right? It's like the new beginning, the fresh new beginning with a lot of inspiration, with a lot of focus on the self. Aries, it's about me. What are my needs? I'm independent. I don't care what other people are going to think. Use that strength and that energy to do something that you've been wanting to do for a long time, that you've been with this Mars square Neptune, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? All that kind of energy. Now it's time to take that action. I mean, in general, if you're saying, but I'm still very scared, plant a seed. Plant a seed. That's what this new moon is all about. The triple whammy of the new beginning. It's a new moon. It's in Aries and it's at 0 degrees. I don't know a better timing for the whole year on a general level, of course, to start something new. Now, what is meanwhile going on with the other planets? Well, as I said, a very Neptunian period that we had, and with all those planets before this new moon is occurring, the sun, the moon, they are all passing Neptune, right? So it's coming out of it's going to be like a really new energy and with a lot of fire. It's not because only the sun and the moon is in Aries. It's also Mercury is there as well. And don't forget, Jupiter is there as well. Chiron is there as well. It's a traffic jam in the sign of Aries. So we're going to feel that in much more fire energy, much more inspiration and the feeling that you want to do something. So make the use of that. And to be a bit more bold, to be a bit more fierce and fiery and enthusiastic and a bit childish even. What did you want to do as a child? This is very much Aries energy. So what else is going on with the planets? Well, of course, we had Saturn entering Pisces, Pluto entering Aquarius, but I refer to my other videos. You can find it on my playlist, those videos. And but what is interesting is that Venus, you could say, of course, this Aries new moon is ruled by Mars and it's going, it doesn't know what to do and so on. And now it's getting clearer and being courageous. But Venus, the lover of Mars, you could say, is in its own sign, in Taurus. And guess what? It's next to the North Node. So on a you could say on a level of faith, on a level of things have to be that way and destiny and blah, blah, blah. That is definitely when it comes to love and when it comes to with this Venus conjoining with the North Node. So we are all going to meet the people that we need to meet, the people that are good for us, are right for us, for our development. So that's all also a side note that is quite interesting. But let's get through this with looking at the planets and where it is happening. For Aries, I don't have, it's the whole introduction. So dear Aries people who've got your moon in Aries, your sun in Aries, your Aries rising, go for it. And the ruler of this new moon, Mars, is in your third house. So this is all about you maybe starting a new, you could say, a new plan for when it comes to your PR. So when you have a business, this is a very busy house, a business of your own, I mean. So it's a lot about a new website or a new, whatever it is on social media. It's this is the new beginning, you could say. It can also mean a fresh new start with how you deal with your siblings, how you deal with your neighbors. That could have been like awkward situations, really very unclear situations. And now, because of circumstances, because the work you've been going through and doing, and also they were doing, you can do that fresh new start and you're going for it. Another thing is also traveling, short trips, very recommended to do this. And if you've been wanting to do that, but you were a bit scared, of doing this or doing that, go for it and do the travel. Also learning, if you want to learn a new skill, go and do it. Go and do it and have fun with it. And it could also learning a new skill that is going to be very important for you later on. So a lot of good vibes, a lot of activities, a lot of communication as well. So definitely, of course, you could say in most jobs, you need communication, don't you? But it's a lot about busyness as well. Mars in that third house, a lot of busyness, and it's definitely going to be a time with a lot of emails, with a lot of talks, with a lot of, you going around basically and exploring. So it's time to go out there and it's time to be social as well. Taurians, this is happening in your 12th house, this new moon. So this is behind the scenes. And the ruler is in your second house, which is your home house of the Taurian, you could say. Now, what is this all about? This is more on a level of the subconscious, you could say. There is like a whole new start, and my nose is dripping. I'm so sorry. And I'm doing this for Taurus people who are so not liking what I'm doing now, but I have to do it because otherwise it's going to. Anyway, dear Taurians, this is all about you finding out new ways to relax. Isn't that a good thing? And you can only do that when you feel worthy of it. When you feel that you've worked hard, you've done all those things, and you're doing it because you're worth it. And it's the 12th house is the house of relaxation. And this new moon shows new beginnings around how you're going to relax and how you're going to feel about that. So new actions because of that for sure. Of course, your second house is also about hustling for the money. So all of a sudden, a dream, something out of the blue. You're sitting in your bath, for instance, and with the beautiful, sensual kind of odeur. And I don't find the English word now, but and you're enjoying your bath, and you're relaxing, in other words, and you're finding an idea to hustle for the money, to have a new source of income. And off you go, you're going to do it. So it's a very interesting, you could say, a period of time that when you relax and when you are calm, which is what Taurians are all about, they are definitely a sign of calmness, the ideas will come. And the ideas will come to get a better life, to get better self-worth, and to be self-sufficient. Right? This is not about energy. I've been talking about that for a long time, of being dependent of others. That's not the thing. Mars in the second house is doing you. So very interesting energy indeed. And so put a notebook beside your bed. So if you have some dreams, and you can find the solutions in your dreams. Geminis, this is a very beautiful new moon for you. Wow. At last, you're going to know what you're going to do, right? But there's Mars in your sign for ages. And now there comes clarity. And the clarity, the new beginning, is around your future. It's in the 11th house, this new moon. This is your future. This is your goals. This is your friends as well. There could be a new beginning with friends or a friend. There could be a new start. There might have been some insecurities, not knowing what's going on there, but there might be a new beginning, and it's very enthusiastic, and it's very, it's very positive. And so on a level of your goals and your dreams, if you have been saying, I don't know where to go in life, and I'm getting crazy because of that, and I'm scared and whatnot, this is going to pass, and you're going to find yourself in a new situation where you take the lead, basically, and where you draw the lines. Like, Mars in your first house is a lot about, this is what I want, this is not what I want. And to say it, in a very assertive way, with not a lot of blah, blah, blah. And that is good. So for you, this is a very important new moon, because it's a sextile. Aries and Gemini go well together, but also the ruler of this new moon is in your sign. So this is all about new beginnings for you on all levels. It's the ascendant, the first house, is your life path. So it's you versus relationships. It's you versus your work. It's you versus your home. So do the big change that you want to do. And yes, you're going to feel very liberated because of that, and alive, which is what Aries is all about. Cancer, this is also significant for you, definitely for the Cancerians who've got planets around the first degrees of Cancer, 0 to 5 degrees. They're going to feel it a lot because it's at the top of their horoscope. So it is representing career, your public life, parents. That is the 10th house. So there's a new start there. So you could be like getting an upgrade when it comes to your career, or having a new job. For some of you, it's definitely an ending of and you've been thinking of, am I going to end it? Am I not going to end it? And now he's like, yeah, I'm going to end it. I'm going to start all over again, or I'm going to start a new phase in my life. A new, it's also the 10th house is also your social status. So you could be divorcing or marrying or living together or living alone. Those changes from having no kids to having kids. It's a very important point of your horoscope there. And Mars is still in your 12th house. So prepare yourself for very soon, that Mars will be around the end of March, will be in your sign. And so definitely you will feel this already after the 25th, when Mars is off Neptune. You're going to feel that things are going forwards, that you know where you're heading. You don't have to keep things so much secret anymore. And of course, when you are preparing yourself for a new job, it's not intelligent to say that to everyone, right? Because the current boss can say, off you go. And it's not always a practical thing. But you are really heading forwards with the career, with life, with how you want to be seen as a social being, and doing your part in society. So fresh new starts, absolutely. And for some of you, it's going to be planting a seed. And for others, it's going to be big. It's going to be like, yeah, I'm launching my new business, or I'm applying for a new job. Also, with the parents, there could be a change in your in your attitude around parents. There could be a parent that might have a new beginning, or that you have a new beginning with this parent. So the attitude you have towards them has changed in a new, fresh way. Leos, I absolutely love this because you are a fellow fire sign. So this is a beautiful new moon for you. It's happening in your 9th house, the house of the higher self, the house of higher knowledge. And so this is definitely with the ruler of it, Mars in the 11th house. It's a very future-oriented kind of energy. You could be doing a new trip, or not. You could say traveling to a new place that you've never been before, and it can have a really knock-on effect on new goals in your life, or the travel that we sometimes do, and we get back at home and we are totally changed. It's that kind of energy that you're having. So because of new inspiration, because of new ideas and new, you could say there is some whole new how you view life. And when you view life in a new, fresh way and in an enthusiastic and positive way, it has a knock-on effect on all the other houses. The ninth house is a very strong house because it's a mental house. And when that house is okay, when you feel connected with all there is, that all is one, but not in that fluffy way of, oh, all is one. No, it's like all is one. And, you know, it's all connected and I'm a part of it. And I feel that I'm in a positive way a part of it, and that I am supported. You know, it's a strengthening of your connection with the divine and with God, if you like, or with nature, or with your higher self. There is absolutely a great optimism there, and that has a knock-on effect on your activities with friends, but also your goals for the future and knowing where you're heading. Virgos, this is happening in the 8th house. So this is a bit behind the scenes, and this new fresh beginning that is starting. People are not seeing it, and but it's not, nevertheless, it doesn't mean that it's not there. This new beginning is a new psychological, might be a new psychological insight, might be something that you have grown out, you know, an old shadow pattern. That is the 8th house as well, that you've outgrown and that you've conquered. And it's a very strengthening of, you could say, your deep psychological burdens. And you could have conquered something there. And Mars is in your 10th house of work. So it could be related with your work or with parents or with how you want to be seen in the world, your public function, so to speak. But it's definitely a whole new you, because it's the house of transformation, the 8th house, that is. And so that could be like things are becoming clear now when it comes to an inheritance, because it's also a money house, when it comes to the money that you share with others. So there could be like things that ended and new beginnings now, a fresh new start that is optimistic, that is daring. And there could be new investments that you're going to do, or planting a seed of an idea that you say, yeah, I want to do some new investments. That could be related to your work as well, because Mars in your 10th house. And also definitely new kind of way of how you are presenting yourself in the world. Very assertive there, and very much now knowing what you want and what you're going to do. There could be a shift towards parents, an attitude that is more daring, that is more assertive again. So not arrogant or being a doormat, but assertive, very healthy. And where you can draw those lines, where you can have healthy boundaries with each other. And that could be the new start as well. So the 8th house is definitely a very occult house, a very deep house, and a sensitive house. So when there's so much fiery energy, it can also mean that intimacy. You know, for those of you who just started a relationship and you're a bit scared of going a bit further than just the talking, this is the moment. You know, the 8th house is the house of sexuality, but erotism, you could say. It's more than just having the sex. That's the 5th house. But the 8th house is like body, mind, and soul. It's being vulnerable. So you could have a new attitude towards your vulnerability, how you're going to show your vulnerability, but you're not doing it just like that. First of all, not with everyone. And secondly, you're feeling strong when you show your true self. And you're feeling like encouraged. And that is strength, of course. So good for you. Librans, this is all about your relationships, a new beginning. Wow, for the Librans who've been looking for a new relationship, this is definitely like a 3 double whammy of a possibility here, of good energy. Of course, you have to go out there, you have to tap into the energy. And Mars, the ruler of this, is in the 9th house. So if you really want to meet someone new, go travel. Go travel, go learn something new, you know, go study. Even if it's like a workshop or anything, if anything that has to do with broadening your perspective, go for it. And but definitely a new start, definitely a courageous new start when you are in a relationship, and a very fiery one, right? So you could meet someone and attract someone who's very fiery, who's very got the qualities of this very in the moment human being, which is what Aries is all about. Very enthusiastic. And it is also for those of you who are in a relationship, it could be a new start, right? It could be like there has been some things that were really unclear and you didn't know what to do, and you thought, am I going to the left, to the right? And now things become clear. Whether it has been an ending or an upgrade that you're getting, it doesn't matter. It's a new, fresh start, and you're enthusiastic about it. And it liberates you, you know, that there's some sort of an independence energy for you, for sure. Scorpios, this is happening in your 6th house, and the 6th house is new beginnings when it comes to your work, your day-to-day routines. If you don't work, it's your day-to-day life. It's the things that you do to stay healthy as well. So it could also have to do with, this is really the moment if you have been postponing for a new health regime, right? A regime, because it's the 6th house, which means discipline and consistency and all that good stuff. It's definitely now. It's definitely a good moment to start some new routines, to start new things. And Aries is all about fiery energy. So it's not so much about doing some yoga where you sleep almost, or some meditation. This is about, you know, fitness, running, feeling that you have a body, dancing, but not dancing like, you could say dancing something like the cha-cha-cha, which is very nice, or like that. No, it's like dancing hip-hop or something. That demands quite a lot of energy. Anyway, so on another level, it's work. So for some of you, it's not for all of you going to be so drastic, but for some of you, indeed, it's a new job. It's a new job, and you're all fired up about it. With Jupiter there, you're going to find lots of purpose and meaning in it as well. So that is all good. And but definitely for some of you, you could just in your work find an upgrade, find a promotion with Jupiter there as well. Not finding it, I mean demanding it and getting it. Otherwise, you know, you go for another job. There's a lot of that fiery energy there, and impatient energy because you've done with it, but also you're a bit scared. So definitely Mars in your 8th house. It's also about you have conquered here your fears. So there could be a lot of fears that were connected with your work, you know, because of circumstances. It's all easier said than done, you know, go and find a new job. Yeah, but hey, in the circumstances that we live, it's not always easy. But it demands courage, remember. And again, you have been having a time of not knowing what to do, and, you know, meeting your own demons in shadow of insecurities, and now that's over with this new energy. Sagittarians, what a lovely transit it is. What a lovely transit. I mean, the Sagittarians who've got planets between 0 and 5, they will feel it the most. Of course, all Sagittarians will feel this very uplifting energy. You are a fire sign. Aries is a fire sign. This is happening in your 5th house, which is a very fiery house. And it's the house of the new beginnings that are going to occur here, is in your, you could say, your heart chakra. So everything that you do from the heart, you know, your love that you exude, and the children that you have or that you want to have. It's a great timing, great timing. And the things that you love to do, that you enjoy. It's all about enjoyment here. And that could be hobbies, could be sports as well. You know, Sagittarius is known to be a very sporty kind of sign. And so it's great to start a new sport, to start, oh, I'm definitely going to do that. You know, I'm a Sagittarius rising and I really have to do something again. So yeah, I'm going to wait up until that timing, because that is good energy. That is what I mean by going with the flow of the energy of nature. You will be more successful if you go with it. So starting a new hobby, starting some new sports. There could be something, if you have children, something new in their life that is very exciting and that is starting for them. a new phase in their life that is very, very bold and enthusiastic, and it has certainly a knock-on effect on you, but also your relationships. I mean, this Mars in your 7th house for ages, there's some clarity here now. So there could be indeed a new romantic relationship starting now, with all this fresh energy in your 5th house, and you're bold and you're daring, and it's a very fiery, very, you could say, physical kind of relationship for sure. And Mars in your 7th house as well, you know where you're heading now. You're not doubting anymore. You know where you're going. The healthy boundary stuff should be sorted out here, and off you go. So a fresh new start here for sure, and a very enjoyable new moon. Capricorns, this is happening at the core of your horoscope, which is the 4th house. So this is the new beginnings that are possible, or planting a seed when it comes to literally your home. You might be selling a house, buying a house, and trying to do that. It's a good timing for that for sure. And definitely with Mars in your 6th house of your day-to-day routines, you could be very, very busy. And now knowing where you're heading. And so literally your home, but also the 4th house is your connection with your parents. That could be something new, or a new way that you're dealing with relatives again, and a new fresh way with all insecurities that you might be having in the recent past. It could also mean a fresh new start of you nurturing you, and of new emotional well-being, of Aries, a new fresh start, feeling bold, feeling very secure. And because you feel very secure, you can take on those new steps. That could be very much related to work as well, because this Mars is in your 6th house. So if you've been dealing with insecurities at work, now is the time where you can make that decision to have a better job in the future. And also a parent, a connection with a parent, that could be a whole new beginning. Aquarians, this is your 3rd house. It's a sextile to your sign. So this goes well. And it's a fresh new beginning in the 3rd house of relationships with siblings, relationships with neighbors. So there could have been some problems with that in the past, and that you needed to sort out, and you didn't really know where you stood. But now there is a whole fresh start. It's all forgotten, it's all forgiven, and off you go. That kind of mentality. It can also be your way of communicating. You're starting a totally brand new way of communicating that is very independent, that is very no nonsense, you could say, because that's what Aries is all about. And you're doing that in a very healthy way with good boundaries. Another level, it's travel, it's short trips. You could be launching many new short trips, or maybe one short trip that is very significant for you, that could be related to your work as well, but that you're trying to find some new, you could say some new energy of also enjoying yourself. Because the Mars is in the 5th house of recreation, of enjoying yourself. So you could be doing a short trip just to relax, and to do some hobbies that you have neglected for a long time, and to have fun, to go out, to go to restaurants and whatnot, all that kind of stuff that you love to do here, and that you go out with friends and with people that you have a good time with, without not too much, intensity or whatnot. And that can give you a lot of happiness. So also learning something new. You could be starting a new course, and it's related to a hobby. It could be related to a hobby there, definitely, whether it is a language that you want to learn, or whether it is something that you've always wanted to do when you were a child. The 5th house is very the heart chakra, what you love to do as a child. You could be really reinventing that and saying, yeah, I'm going to do that, start and become extremely enthusiastic because of that. When you have your own business, this could mean really launching a new business, because the 5th house is what we create, babies and businesses and all of that. And the 3rd house is the PR that you're doing. So you could be launching a whole new business, or at least, if you already have a business, maybe an upgrade there and something extra. And Pisceans, this is happening in your second house, this new beginning. So there is definitely some seeds that you can plant to hustle for the money, to find new ways of having better confidence, and also a lot of times that is having a bit more money there. So having better structures when it comes to your money because of the things that you've been wanting to do. That is definitely also related to your fourth house, which is literally your home. So you could be one of those people deciding to buy and to sell and to buy a new home, and to be doing a lot of things at home to improve your situation towards the self, to be more confident, to feel more secure, basically. These two are also family oriented energies. So you could be doing new starts with family, and it's all fresh now, and that could have been with relatives. With Mars in the fourth house, definitely some obstacles there that you needed to tackle, and things were very unclear, but now it's all a fresh new start. You're very enthusiastic, and you're gonna, it's a new opportunity for you to own your talents as well. So definitely, it doesn't mean to say that you have to be young, but how to reuse or use your talents in a new, fresh way is definitely also something that is possible here. Having said that, I wish everyone a very good, fresh new moon in Aries. Thank you for listening. I see you later. Bye-bye.